I am happy. In fact, I am very happy to announce to you that the festive season is over. What we have now is the fasting season. So if anyone calls you around this time and goes like, Happy New Year, my brother, she or he simply is tabling a motion to present a budget asking for what I call start of year supplementary momo. Yeah, you know start of year supplementary momo? Ask any Menzgold. She has the best answer, you know. And I can imagine how broke you will be as host of an old friend and his family who touched down for the year of return pilgrim. You spend so much to make them comfortable, take them to all the concerts in town, only for them to leave with a thank you note and a hug. You're like, bro, you're the man. I feel you, buddy. I'm so glad to be back home. And Tasha, Tata, and myself, we're going to do this again and again. And you're like, oh, bro, don't miss me. By the grace, you're always welcome. Maybe you want to say, Charlie, no, $10 kakram, I mean, fine idea, but the daughter and the wife are there, so you're shy. Now there you are, as broke as coffee broke man. Anyway, welcome to Backpage. No matter how broke you may be, you have to fill your tank to the brim. You never know. Your car may just be used as an ambulance, but I hope not. Welcome again. My name is Caleb Kudah. We will come to the ambulance conversation shortly, but can you imagine how Nana Appiah Mensah Nam1 enjoyed the Christmas? I'm not sure he will do the Dubais again, but just imagine how his Christmas could be like and compared to his many stranded, hungry, broke, and frustrated clients whose funds are locked up. Think of the nursing single mothers, elder sibling, 10 head of family who have all invested their all in Menzgold. Well, they say it's not fair for them to go hungry while the man with whom their capital is locked up is living their life. So they mussed up, bust up, and moved to the Tresaco residence of their flag bearer, capital bearer. Our brothers from Kumasi were there too.
Nana Appiah Mensah thinks he's so smart. He can have the state security apparatus to protect and support him. That is why he's doing all these things. Initially, our money, our blood, our money, our blood. We are not here to fight with anybody. Yes. We are not here to cause any commotion or destroy any properties. Yes. We are only here to visit Nana Appiah Mensah and demand for our investment. That's all. For more than 1 year, our capital, our investment has been with him. And he has been telling lies. He's working with it. He has been telling lies upon lies that he's paying our money to us. Meanwhile, over 16,000 customers of Menzgold have not paid a dime to us. Yeah.
Our money, our brand. Our money, our brand. You know, I love how focused he is. I mean, he was throwing his mind in the interview. He was throwing his mind until something distracted him. But even then, he goes like, our money, our brand, our money, our brand. I mean, look, it takes a lot of courage and determination to break through a Tresaco gate manned by a strong man. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is how the Israelites broke free from Pharaoh's gates, man. He is said to be a Yokozuna trainer. And in fact, he defeated Papa Ajasko and even Bukom Banku in the 90s.
There's some bit of struggle. They've opened the gates and they are struggling with the security personnel. They forced themselves into the estate. Ordinarily, the security personnel wouldn't have allowed them. This is what is happening here at Tresaco. This obviously a furious security personnel who is locking the gate, preventing other people from entering. They are struggling with him, as you can see.
Oh my God, furious security man indeed. I mean, should Nigeria ever have their door of return, which we are told is fake news, I think the senior security officer at Tresaco should be poached, to man the great door of return. I particularly like how he prevented the Menzgolders from getting through. So when I later heard ACP Kwesi Fori say the Menzgolders assaulted a security man. I felt really sad, you know.
Looking at this very environment, Trasaco, it is an estate meant for several people, and for this group of persons to invade the premises, assaulting the security details of the estate, and having forcefully entering the place to carry out such an illegal exercise definitely has something to do with the police.
How can you assault a senior security officer by his own gates? I mean, this is so wrong. But you remember when the SEC was handling the Namwan situation, the Menzgolders were saying, you remember what they were saying, right? Government is envious of Namwan's wealth. You remember when he was brought down from Dubai, the support the Menzgolders gave him and all? Charlie, the people are beginning to regret this love affair if they haven't regretted already.
I'm not going to live here until he pays me. Because anytime this guy and his company brings out a payment schedule, he lies to us. We don't know what is happening to him. We fought for you. We are behind you. When we were at Dubai, we pleaded with the government. He intervened. Now that you are out of cells or prison, instead of you to bring out a payment schedule that will favor the customers, you said no. You are lying.
You are lying. Somebody, we forced for you. Now, we forced. Now you are lying. Now we are in police station, eh? Number one, we are in police station. Number one, why? Now, if you who had your December salary and enjoyed yourself very well with Ghana rice and other things, and you are now say you are broke, and you are wondering how you pay your school fees, and you're staring at the bill, imagine the situation of these customers of Menzgold. Now, they have to be bailed. I'm told 90 of them will be arraigned before court and all that. Charlie, boys and girls are hustling, really, really hustling. Now, while we are all hustling, some policemen have decided to be wiser than Kweku Anansi. You know, recently, in a published survey, the police topped the chart for the umpteenth time as the most brilliant body of organized professionals who are the most corrupt in Ghana. Now, guess what? Like Usain Bolt, who broke world records so much so that no one else could break his records, to the point that he had to start breaking his own record. Some police officers have broken the enviable corruption record of the entire service. In fact, they have done what Sonny Abacha couldn't do. What am I driving at? For the longest time, the Ghana Police Service has been helpless dealing with the impunity of undisciplined driving on our roads. Not my words, those are the words of top police officers, right? So, through the vision of the Otokinadu, Samuel Atameza, Citi TV partnered the police service to put the fear of God in undisciplined drivers who felt too powerful and too important to be disciplined. Some were really victims of normalized lawlessness and stupidity, right? Now, all the English I am speaking, can you imagine that police officers who are not part of the war against the discipline team go out there, arrest people under the guise of why, and extort as much as 8,000 Ghana cedis and as low as 2,000 cedis from the offenders? Can you just believe that? When the most the court has slapped on any road traffic offender so far is like 1,200. That one crown is depending on the nature of the offenses and the counts. And people back then called to complain that one police officer has increased his charges from, now police officers have increased their regular charges from 20 Ghana and 50 Ghana to 150 just because of why. And I typically tell them, you next time don't use illegal U-turns again. But dear IGP, are you seriously telling us that we should sit down as a country for your men, some of them, to extort 8,000 Ghana cedis from someone who just jumped red light? Is that what you are saying? That under your watch, some of these officers will raise the corruption bar only when security analysts have had cause to commend the police for a good job done during the festive season? Like, seriously? Now, if you are one of the corrupt police officers out there, I salute you. Your boss has a message for you.
The police administration has also appealed to the public to give maximum cooperation as far as this exercise is concerned. And we assure the public that such complaints, when received, will be expeditiously dealt with. In addition to this, ladies and gentlemen, the service has strengthened its disciplinary measures to ensure that personnel who get themselves involved in corrupt practices are severely dealt with and expeditiously too.
So, dear corrupt police officer, please listen to your boss for your own good. But if you want to risk your job, don't use our war against the discipline to try and err. Those of you who have taken the monies already know, dear, your names have been faxed to my village. And very soon, you will receive messages within your cardiovascular places and your other places. We will see the trousers you wear to go to the police again. I mean, what kind of excellence in corruption is this? So the police arrest you. One, he sits in your car and says, start moving towards the nearest police station. He then tells you his 2 IC is coming with the Citi TV cameras. When they come, they will capture you and you will go to court and pay fines. And so bring the first told the man to bring 19,000 Ghana cedis. And out of duress, the man took him to the nearest ATM instead of taking him to the nearest police station. And then he literally emptied his account in this ungodly month that people will be paying school fees. Emptied his account into the police officer's pocket. Look, the original white team always moves to the Citi TV, cameras. And lately we go with officials of DVLA. So you should take note. And so don't allow any corrupt police officer to abuse you. They are supposed to process you for court and not to process your bank account into their pockets. And like the IGP said, report all such people. Those criminals in uniform must be dealt with. No, just I did not say me brutally. I mean, this whole Christmas, no one even called me to say, oh, Caleb, you guys have done well. Hey, Bia, I don't know me motorway. You the first was so Bia. Come home and let's do some Ghana rice. Nobody called. Now what they basically not even. No. 8,000 Ghana cedis from people. That's my budget for a second-hand MacBook. Straight 8,000. Hey. In fact, fire will burn you. Fire will burn you. It has burned me. All the hard work that the Sasumenses, the Agnesizers, and the Virgins of the Road, Tenkus and Nyakuns, among others, have done. You want to come and eat off their sweat, free of no charge. Let me catch you. Number law. Now, the whole of Ghana, this will shock you. We are like 30 million. That is not the shocking part. We born plenty. The number of state-run ambulances available for all of us is the shocking part. It used to be 55. Now it's just 50. 5 and 0. Now, government has procured some ambulances, more of them. But the problem is with the Podziemo, the Vihadago, the Addoling, or better still, the outdooring, or if you want, the commissioning of the ambulances. We will deal with the ambushed ambulances as well as some other interesting stories when we return from this break. Welcome back, my friends. This is Backpage, your new satirical show on Citi TV. I am Caleb Kudah. Like you know, we have made a lot of noise about the state of ambulances in Ghana and how government must do better in honoring its campaign promises to Ghanaians. Now, guess what? President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who says he's a man in great hurry to develop Ghana and can't wait to build all the needed structures before rolling out the free SHS. No, he says, Ghana for more pre-creado. The ambulance there, they have come, but we are not in hurry to share it at all. We are not.
The Minister for Special Development Initiatives, who's been responsible for bringing them, told me about a month, 6 weeks ago, that some of the ambulances were in, should she distribute it? And I said no, she shouldn't. She should wait till they all come in. So one day we can distribute them all at the same time to all 275 constituencies. I saw myself getting into a tremendous amount of issues if you started distributing some and others didn't get it. Fortunately for us, all of them will be in by the end of this month. 160 odd are already in, and the balance are on the high seas. They will be here by the end of the month. The 300 will be there. On the 6th of January, I will commission them, and then the distribution will take place simultaneously across the country. And nobody's going to accuse me of favoritism, regionalism, this and that and that.
Yeah, yeah, that makes so much sense, Your Excellency. But what happened to data, for example, so that based on data of regions or constituencies with the highest cases, then we start disbursing? Or is it just for the love of grand commissioning where the budget for refreshment and the cost of transporting all your 120-something ministers, because His Excellency the President will be there, no? That's the refreshment and the cost of transporting, and sometimes it turns out to be more than whatever we are going to commission. Is it just for the love of the commissioning? I know, but think about this. Someone said the free SHS, no, we don't have all the needed infrastructure, but we still have done it. In fact, we have abandoned some projects that could have been finished to accommodate more students. That's one we have abandoned it, but still we have done the free SHS. In fact, we have done double track. But for the ambulance, no, it's not smart for us to distribute and even let close by constituencies share until all arrives. No, it's not smart. Now, 2 days to the intended outdooring of the ambulances, no, a petition suddenly pops up, curiously, signed by the head of National Ambulance Service and forwarded by the health minister to the president. Now see what happens. We've seen so many petitions from so many groups. This is the only one I'm seeing the health minister forward. And we didn't hear from the presidency whether or not the petition has been granted or whatever. We just see that the ambulances are there. They are sitting down laughing at us at the forecourt of Parliament. They are just laughing at us. Wait a second. On the 15th of November 2019, the Ministry of Special Development Initiative, one of the many ministries created by the elephants that John Mahama calls useless, and indeed many Ghanaians agree with him, by the way, issued the following.
Government has procured 307 ambulances. 96 ambulances have so far arrived in the country. About 40 more are on high sea heading to Ghana. The remaining ambulances will arrive before the year ends. Of the 96 in the country, 48 are yet to be cleared at the port. The 48 that have been cleared at the port are parked at the State House and are undergoing registration and installation of trackers for proper monitoring of their movement when they are finally distributed. Receiving points to receive the ambulances are being set up in all 275 constituencies. 500 paramedics to manage the ambulances are expected to complete their training at the National Ambulance Service before the year ends. In fact, the first batch will graduate next week Friday. It is instructive to note that the ambulances are just not parked but are rather going through a plethora of activities to ensure proper management structures have been put in place before distribution, which is just 2 months away. Government has spent a fortune in purchasing these facilities, and as such it is only proper that measures are put in place for effective management and sustainability of the ambulances before distribution starts in January.
Now this was in November, okay? It was in November. In all, I love the sense of urgency government has attached to this ambulance thing. If this is the same way they treat all issues that concern us, the majority of us, Ghana will be Krabesha by 2030. I promise you, we will. But one annoying thing for some Ghanaians is how Dwaboso MP and ranking member of Parliament's Health Committee, Kwabena Menta Akando, is going around saying government is heartless, government is insensitive over this ambulance issue, when the NDC bought with taxpayers' money under the watch of Alex Segwefia and John Mahama what is today a remnant of archaeological discovery in one of the many fancy corruption museums ex-President Mahama and his boys built. Now, 56 ambulances at the cost of $5.5 million. Show me just one.
It's becoming sickening. The very reasons they have cited in this letter are the very reasons they cited and that demanded that they were going to distribute the ambulances on the 5th of January. Why are we allowing ourselves to be toyed with like that? The government has not been able to substantiate or give any tangible reasons for the non-distribution of the ambulances. Don't they get embarrassed when they are able to parents to come and tell us some of these things? As Ghanaians, we are not angry enough. The government is taking us for granted.
So that was Kwabena Minteh-Akano crying over the state of the ambulances when we don't know what has happened to the John Mahama ambulances, which is technically scrub. You can call his tears fake tears, but it tells you even the NDC is shocked by attempts by the MPP to compete with them when it comes to some of these sickening endeavors, to borrow his words. So when you pray, thank your God for your health. But when you fill your tank, fill it to the brim just in case your car has to be used for purposes of an ambulance. Now, I don't know, but it feels like this year the Harmattan has affected the festival of New Year prophecies. And as the prophecies, they are clashing. And I said, I'm not so crazy. Well, people say we should take comedians more seriously than some of the soothsayers in Kasok. At least the comedians are professional, and they even pay taxes when they organize their shows. Anyway, Dr. Bawumia has made so many promises of initiatives that will be launched this month. This one, he says, will deal with corruption. We are
going to see a major transformation coming out in terms of the digitization of this country. This year, we want everybody to be very cooperative and let us get to be part of it. And that digitization, I tell you, and all of you know, it will really be very disruptive to corruption in government. Very disruptive. Because corruption only thrives when you go and meet somebody, right? But when you have to do it online, then asemasa. So we want the assem to sang, and so we are going to move towards digitization.
We hope so. Anyway, we hear some 400 Bawumia tricycles are chasing the missing Mahama Guinea fowls. They possibly want to digitize the eggs of the guinea fowl. Oh my goodness. It leaves me to ask you, what are you chasing this decade? Whatever it is you're chasing, be excellent at it. And keep well, my friends.